Episode 23, Shadows in the Citadel. And Charlie journeyed alone, her heart heavy, yet brimming with a fierce resolve. She knew this path was more perilous than any she had ever faced, more dangerous than wild beasts, more dangerous than demon shadows, because her destination was the Blackstone Citadel, the home she had fled and the very lair of the true monster. She used the family crest, her constant companion, as both a guide and an undeniable mark of identity. Exploiting a change in the guard's shifts and a forgotten secret passage from her childhood, she slipped silently back into the dark, magic-infused fortress. The Blackstone Citadel remained unchanged, dim, frigid, and teeming with an ominous dark energy. The scent of sulfur and stale magic hung heavy in every corner. She moved like a phantom, evading her father's servants and soldiers, creeping through winding corridors and shadowy alcoves she knew intimately. Her target, her father's private chamber, a room filled with cursed artifacts and ancient grimoires she was never permitted to approach. She believed all the answers and the means to stop her father lay hidden within. When she reached the chamber door, she found it wasn't sealed by any mechanism or spell as she expected. Instead, it was slightly ajar, and a strange, dark violet light emanated from within. And Charlie hesitated, but her resolve pushed her forward. She crept closer, peering through the gap. The sight that greeted her nearly brought her to her knees. In the center of the room, her father, Kun Amnat, stood before a massive obsidian altar. Before him lay four familiar artifacts: the tiger skin takret, the Naga's fang, and the Leklai spirit knife. The very artifacts that Pleng had possessed were now all in her father's grasp. But Pleng, where was Pleng? What had happened to him? Fear seized her, shaking her to her core, but the scene continued to unfold. Her father chanted an ancient, malevolent incantation, dark, viscous smoke rising from the altar, and more horrifying still, behind her father stood a woman. The woman's face was pale, devoid of emotion, yet hauntingly familiar. "Mother!" and Charlie gasped, the whisper torn from her lips. But it wasn't truly her mother. The figure was skeletal, a walking corpse. Her eyes were wide, vacant, and her body bore the horrific marks of torture, bound by glowing, terrifying violet magical chains. And most shocking of all, the fifth artifact on the altar was the silver jade bracelet, a family heirloom, but not from Kun Amnat's lineage. It was the bracelet passed down through Anchali's mother's family, the very clan sworn to protect the queen. Kun Amnat was performing some kind of ritual with her mother. He hadn't just imprisoned her mother for punishment, he was using her as part of the ceremony. "Father, what are you doing to Mother?" Anchali could bear it no longer. She shrieked, bursting into the room. Kun Amnat paused his chanting. With a flick of his hand, a wall of dark energy slammed into Anchali, sending her flying to crash violently against the chamber wall. "Anchali, why have you returned?" Kun Amnat's voice was cold and devoid of emotion. "You should not be here. You should not see this. Release Mother now!" Anchali struggled to her feet, her body screaming with pain. "What are you doing to her?" Kun Amnat curled his lips into a horrifying sneer. "She is the perfect key, the last descendant of the ancient immortal royal line, the blood of the sun. She is the only one who can fully unlock the power of the wishing crystal, if not by will, then by force." He turned back to gaze at her mother's broken form and spoke with a vile tone. and the wishing crystal was just unsealed by a foolish, unsuspecting boy. Now it is time for that gift to return to its rightful owner. And Charlie's eyes widened in horror. Plang, he found the wishing crystal. But now it is in her father's hands. And more terrifying still, her mother. She was to be used with the wishing crystal to awaken something truly malevolent. Everything she feared most was about to happen. She was too late.